Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. Wow, what a cool, cold morning. Oh, man. That drives me nuts. The gate's open. It just doesn't end, people. It doesn't end, man. Oh, my gosh. That gate, I hate that gate. You know why I hate that gate? It's a never-ending thorn in my ass because it breaks. The wife opens it and doesn't close it. The kid opens it and doesn't close it. I mean, it just doesn't end, everybody. It drives you nuts. And now, what did my daughter do with the frickin', who the hell knows? It just isn't easy. Not easy when you have a ton of dogs that want to run off on you. And, you know, the thing is, that gate open. If a person's walking down the street right now with their dog, or even a person, the dogs would be out in the street instantly. Oh my gosh. They drive you nuts. Yeah, hey, wow, it's Monday morning, everybody getting the week going, but yeah, it's cold. You know, it's chilly. So I'm 3 layers deep now. 2 shirts, jacket, got my buff back on. And it's the Monday routine of getting going as the winter is past us. Pretty incredible how really the winter for sure is over. And today, Monday being the work week, what I get done on the greenhouse, debatable. The kid's gone, wife's gone. Kid went to the gym, I already know that. She likes to get up early in the morning, go work out when she can, her schedule allows it, but she's on spring break. Hard to believe. The kids in college are already on spring break. So, just time goes by so quickly, everybody. So, with that being said, that'll kind of be good because the kid will be able to help put that greenhouse up sooner than later. And my goal is to get that thing up before the humidity sets in and the gnats and the bugs show up, because it totally sucks to be working outside when you are fighting all those. Right, here's the dogs. Let's turn off the camera. We'll be right back. Come on, get on over here, Pops. Come on, Prince. Come on, Prince, hey, boy. Prince is getting so big. He's a big boy. Come on, Pops, sit over the barn. Routine, you know the routine. Go to the office. Get in the shop. Beautiful morning, though. It is beautiful. We never really got crazy weather. We got some pretty good winds that came through yesterday. You know what's really weird is yesterday before the winds came in, just kind of make sure things kind of buckled down. I just can't believe how I never checked my scissor jacks on that camper since the day I put it in that parking spot close to a year ago. Hard to believe it's going to be close to a year ago that I moved that trailer. And once again, I put those scissor jacks down and to keep it stable. And I never ever went around the trailer again just to from the trailer sitting and moving around to see if they still were tight. And all 4 of them were loose. And so you don't really use those per se to jack up the unit. Come on, let's go. You use those to stabilize it. You don't really use it per se to level it. You'll break them. All right, let's get the dogs in here and get the day going. Come on, pups. Everybody in? I think everybody's in. Let's start closing the door because it's just easier to manage things when everybody's inside, but somebody's missing, or are they? There's Ginger, Scout. Hey, everybody's on duty. Everybody's here. And let's get the dogs upstairs so we can do our morning conversation today on the Monday morning and get the dogs fed. Come on, pups. Get up there. Go on. Come on. Get up there. Get up there. Those doors take forever to close. I mean, it's like, let's see if that did it right there. Oh my gosh, everybody. It's the Monday morning doldrums. Trying to get motivated, get going. Just, you know, it's a never-ending projects on me doing things. So let's get the dogs fed. Hold on. All right, the dogs got their food. Prince is chilling out. Wow, everybody, just wow. You know, just a never-ending taking on projects. Keep on moving. That's the key about life, especially you get older. Just keep on moving. And you know, thinking to myself today, what do we talk about? Because bringing another conversation to you on the channel isn't the easiest thing in life. But I thought to myself, think about this. I'd love to hear the first thing that pops in your head when I ask this question. And who has been the most powerful person in our country in the last 5 years? So when I say that, what pops in your head? Who has been the most powerful person in the United States of America in so many ways to control our country in the last 5 years? Whose name pops in your head? And so it's interesting because the reason I bring this up is because a guy by the name of Elon Musk is being called out as, the Hitler, the Nazi, the president of the country. And I didn't say Elon Musk is the guy I'm talking about. I'm just sharing with you, if you look at what's going on right now, since Elon Musk has come into the powers to be with Donald Trump and the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, has come to be, Elon Musk is the main headlines day in, day out, 24/7, day in, day out, and it's the love-hate. Some people love him. It seems like more people are hating him because social media feeds more of the hate than the love. Have you ever noticed that? Social media, I believe, feeds more hate than love. I'd love to hear somebody else make that look at social media on how it's treated and how people are treated through social media. It's very challenging. Just being a YouTube creator, it's very challenging of people that are hating on your channel and how you deal with those type of people that just come to hate on your channel. I mean, that's the only reason they're interacting on channel is because they're not happy with themselves, so they just want to make you unhappy with them. Anybody know these stories? If you're a married person, if the wife ain't happy, you ain't happy. It could be said for the husband as well to the wife. It can be said in relationships beyond marriage and business, and brothers and sisters. The list goes on and on and on. And so I have to think to myself, it's incredible how so many people are attacking Elon Musk, but it's the government that's so big to fail that we're witnessing more than ever in our lifetime that, yeah, it's factual, the government's too big to fail, and there's too many participants that are reaping the rewards for little to no efforts of getting rich off of our government that is overtaxing the country, the citizens of our country, and just feel like they can do whatever they want with our tax dollars. And what are you going to do? Like I've said many times, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, really? You have the powers to go take down these political powerhouses and judges? There's no way. You have no money, you have no time, and they'll destroy your life before you can destroy theirs. So here's the answer, everybody. Think this through. Elon Musk is being called out because he's wanting to make our country more efficient, more stable, more fiscal responsibility. And with that is coming pain of people that don't want to accept that their agencies and their jobs and whatever they're doing aren't sufficient enough to be justified at the taxpayers' expense. So actually, it's a guy named Anthony Fauci. Anthony Fauci, the COVID master, was the most powerful man, was, not is, because he's gone for the most part. But think it through. What did Dr. Fauci do to our country? He shut it down. He put small businesses out of business. He scared the hell out of a lot of people. He literally created the mask era. It's so interesting to watch reruns like the Garage Squad or any of these, if you're into the car shows and want to see the build shows or whatever it may be. But it's so interesting. You don't have to look at the date on the filming of the show, and all you have to do is see everybody wearing the mask, wearing their scarves around their face, and I mean it's just incredible on how it's this look right here. Does everybody remember this? This was the Fauci era right here. This is how we lived, and you're a very bad person if you in general public and you didn't have this look. Does everybody remember this? A guy by the name of Dr. Fauci, he was the king, the power of our country, like never ever seen. He was probably the Hitler of our era because of his powers to be, get out of there, don't do that, of controlling our country. So it's ironic that the government, the guy from the National Institutes of Health, the guy that oversaw the monies being sent to the factory in China to design a virus that can kill mankind, that guy, it was the most powerful guy. Probably, could it be, in the last 100 years? I don't know. So you see how my glasses fog up? These things were the worst. And see, for me and my brother, you can kind of look at people's facial expressions and see how their lips. My brother reads lips. So when that masking came in, it was so bad because like my brother, he reads lips when he looks at people to be able to understand and see their expressions. And like I was a youth girls basketball coach, and I already have terrible hearing, and I came very quickly to closure when they opened back up in 2022. I think it was the youth sports. I think it was like a year that everything was delayed. I was like, there's no way. I'm not going to be able to sit out there on the court and all the kids. I mean, I was like, I'm out. My dear daughter was really in tears, but there were a lot of things besides that played out. But once again, here is when the government can tell the people what to go do, and they feel like they're in control. They're pretty content people. But yet when you get a private sector guy like Elon Musk come into the government and tries to tell the government what to do, they go nuts. They go crazy. I mean, it's so crazy to think about, where do these government people think that the money comes from? I guess it really does grow on trees. I guess really, for the most part, they just run a printing press. They just print money. I mean, in all sincereness, you'd have to totally believe that the political parties to be and individuals just truly believe it's just a windfall of free money all day long, and they get to use it at their whatever they want to do with it. That's kind of how it resonates back to a lot of people. But here's what's really interesting that's being exposed, and it isn't me figuring this stuff out. It's a guy by the name of Elon Musk that's figuring it out. And I just thought this was really kind of cool that he did this. So if you look here, and I say to myself, what happened to this guy? What happened to this guy? Here we go. The campaign to cut waste. So let's see if we can get this to explode up.
For decades, copies have been printed, bound, and sent to thousands of government offices all across the country, every single day. And while you might think that most people just can't wait to dig into their copy as soon as it arrives, the truth is, no one reads this thing. And that's because it's been available on the internet for years, which means taxpayers have been funding some pretty expensive doorstops. So we're putting an end to that, saving you millions of dollars each year. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody. Waste we should be getting rid of even if we didn't have a deficit. We're off to a good start. Over the last 2 years, we've pulled the plug on all kinds of ridiculous practices. Apparently, the government used to overnight containers filled with nothing. Don't ask why that is. Sure, some of these cuts aren't that big, but no amount of waste is acceptable. Not when it's your money. Not at a time when so many Americans are already cutting back. Just as families are living within their means, government should too. So we can invest in the things that we know will create good jobs and grow the economy. Things like education and technology. Besides, after a while, all these cuts add up. Already we've identified about $33 billion in savings just for this year. And we're not finished, not by a long shot. Did you know that the federal government pays for a website devoted to a folk music ensemble made up of forest rangers? They're called the Fiddlin' Foresters. I'll put their music on my iPod, but I'm not paying for their website. And there are hundreds of similar sites that we should consolidate or just get rid of. And by the way, you're not only paying for websites no one needs, you're paying for thousands of buildings all across the country no one uses. For the last decade, the government's owned a massive and completely empty warehouse in the middle of Brooklyn, for example. Now, the government hadn't been able to sell this building and others like it because of red tape and Washington politics that held things up for years. But we're finally cutting through all that and plan to get rid of these buildings in the months ahead. All of these efforts to target waste and make government more efficient have been a priority for my administration since day one. But as we work to tackle the budget deficit, we need to step up our game. We need to go after every dime. We need to make government work for you. That's why, starting today, I've asked the Vice President to lead a renewed effort to hunt down misspent tax dollars in every agency and department of this government. We're calling it the Campaign to Cut Waste, and I know Joe's the right man to lead it, because nobody messes with Joe.
There's a new standard by which the government is going to function from this point on. The American people are entitled to transparency. By that I mean they're entitled to be able to figure out where their dollars are going, and they're entitled to accountability to make sure that we're using the dollars for what we said it was for. That's our job, and we take that job very seriously. Look, a lot of this depends on new, sophisticated methods, but it also, we know, depends on relentless focus on making this a priority. Focus that can't be delegated. We're holding ourselves accountable, and we're deeply committed and focused on making government function better. We're not just eliminating fraud and waste. We hope to be instilling an entire new culture that not only our administration, but every succeeding administration will in fact pursue. We're going to give you the government you expect and deserve. So I want to thank you all, and we're ready to get to work.
Wow. Who are those guys? Who the hell are they? Who the hell are those guys? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I give Elon Musk a lot of credit for him really going through the efforts of digging up the dirt like never ever seen. Isn't it incredible? Is it incredible to see Joe Biden, who he became? Isn't it incredible to see who Barack Obama has become? Wow. I mean, beyond believable. So here's another one. I just think this is great stuff. You can dig up on X. You can do it too. So here's the next one I think that is very intriguing. Look at this one right here.
Targeted at these bureaucrats.
Yes.
And so what can you expect?
Well, let's look at the Department of Education. The Federal Department of Education has a budget of about $280 billion a year. Less than 25% goes to educating our students. So where does the other $220 billion go? It goes to a bureaucracy. It goes to a consultant. And that consultant then donates money back to the Democrats. And then it goes to a different consultant. And then it goes to an NGO. I mean, it is money laundering and money churning at its absolute best. And you can look at almost every single agency and you will find it. So the brilliance of DOGE isn't that he's going in and cutting spending. He doesn't have the authority to do that. We're the ones that have the authority to do that. What I want him to do is come up with a report, go through agency by agency by agency, identify every single program that we should not be funding, put a number attached to it. We slap a preamble on the front of that report, and we say that every single agency is having their budget cut by X amount as shown in the attached report, and none of those programs can go forward from here on out.
And this is why Democrats are losing their minds over Elon Musk. It's all about money.
Not one Democrat in America voted for Elon Musk. Elon Musk is seizing the power that belongs to the American people. We are here to fight back.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. God bless Representative Harriet H. Mann from Wyoming. God bless you and your family. Catch you on the next one.
Yeah, wow, man. Wow, it's just incredible. It's incredible, isn't it, what we're witnessing? I mean, just wow. But the Democrats, as we know, are going nuts. Now, this is the last one I'm going to do because I got to go to work. But here's the next one. We've all heard how radical things are in our country, about all the illegals coming in. And I'm sure you heard about this. This is all about the being taken out. And how a judge tried to stop this. And it's just incredible. Of all these MS-13 gang members just got shipped out, and it's just incredible what was allowed into our country, and it's hard to believe. But look how radical this is, everybody. I mean, these are such radical people. They have full-blown military transporting these people, and it's just like, wow. These individuals, I mean, this is radical stuff, everybody, that have moved into our country under Joe Biden's administration. It was like he ain't worried about it. So I'm sure you've heard about it. If you haven't, you should look it up. But this just happened on the weekend, and a judge tried to put a stay, a halt, and wanted Donald Trump to turn that plane back around and bring all these nasty-ass people back to our country because they had the right to stay here. So they've been taken, I guess, to an El Salvador prison that's a radical prison for all these gang members. And yeah, we're having to pay the bill to put him in prison. That's the reality. Like $6 million or something like that. And I'm sure Trump and others would agree that, the amount of money we'll spend to put those guys out of here versus, gotta get that. It's just wow, everybody. Wow. I mean, is it beyond belief? It's hard to believe. I've said it so many times on my channel that I think the political powers to be, they do such radical things that you just can't believe you just can't believe it. You just think there's no way. There's no way they could be that corrupt. There's no way that the political powers to be that are in power would do such devious things to undermine our country and the taxpayers. And I just think to myself, right. I mean, just really? I mean, they're that radical? And so they ride off of that. I try to believe right on. Okay, not a long video. I gotta go to work. Got a long day. So I'm going to leave it at that. But I just thought I wanted to share with you this morning, once again, who popped in your head? I'd love to see in the comments what person's name popped in your head as the most powerful person in our country in the last 5 years. And I think everybody would have to agree for what Fauci did to scare the crap out of this country, to scare the living crap out of this country 24/7 with the media machine. And he shut down the whole country, everybody. Everything was shut down. This is just 5 years ago. Just 5 years ago, all the kids were being sent home from school, all the federal employees. You remember, the original pitch was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Does everyone remember that? That all the school kids would be sent home for 2 weeks only. Federal employees, 2 weeks only, to get a little bit of handle on this virus and all this other stuff. And that's what cracks me up about all these shows you see with the people wearing the masks. So in part of the show, they're all wearing a mask. But then another part of the show, they're not wearing a mask. It's just, oh my God. Does everybody remember this stuff, man? It's unbelievable. That's it. Hope everyone has a blessed Monday. Love to hear your comments. Love to hear your comments this morning. So have a great day, everybody. God bless.